Hey everyone, it's Matt here.
How's it going, everybody? This is your friend Will. Hope everything's going great with you.
Welcome back to another episode of Tech Kingpins. Today we're going to be discussing 3 disadvantages of outsourcing your development.
Previously, we've discussed the advantages of outsourcing your development, but because we're such an honest firm, we're going to also reveal to you what are some of the disadvantages of outsourcing your development so that you can mitigate those issues if you choose to go with outsourcing part of your development to another third party.
Let's get started. First and foremost, you will need to give up some control.
That's right. The agency or the firm that you will be outsourcing your work to will likely be operating in their own way. So you will have to be giving some level of trust there. And it is significantly more important when you try to operationalize your product, because let's say if your product requires a significant amount of private data and that data needs to be secured, the party that you outsource to, you better make sure that they can be trusted and also they're within your jurisdiction, because if they're offshore, usually it is a little bit difficult when it comes down to managing their internal members, as well as say if something were to happen, it is harder to basically ask them to take accountability for it. And also, if you have your internal technical practice, you may want to decide to isolate a particular piece of workload to the outside party so that they can be developed and managed by that party alone, because it takes a large amount of resources to have something be developed by a third party, then taken over by an internal party. That is not normally an ideal solution or a way to go about outsourcing. So in terms of controlling your overall technical stack, if you have an existing practice and want to add a workload to be that is outsourced or provided by another vendor, you will have to give up a certain level of control.
The second thing is, not only are you going to have to give up some level of operational control, but you're also going to run the risk of losing some of the quality control as well of the project.
That's right. You have to do thorough research about the firm that you're outsourcing to, because there's oftentimes a lot of companies out there that use existing template, doing some customization, whether it's for web development or for some of the customized software. And that's normally okay, but when the party doesn't really have a firm grasp of the overall technical stack or the code base, then there are chances where they can just piece code together without really understanding it. And that can all ultimately result in disaster when you want more business complexity onto the application. Initially, it may be fine, but like I said, as you pile on more programming logic onto the template, it starts to really hinder your development cycle. Sometimes a feature will take a very long time to be developed and integrated onto your existing code base. And also, the program will likely be very buggy. There will be different kind of issues in different components, different modules, and it'll be very difficult to fix those bugs. So not to say that you can't use some of the existing open source modules or solutions or framework, but you better make sure if the firm that you're outsourcing to decide to use it, they better have really strong expertise in those rarely used framework or modules.
And the quality control can also be lost simply just because the firm is looking to just make a quick buck and get your project done quickly and not really focus on doing a great job. Or they run the risk of they're focusing on too many projects at once and the project that you sent them isn't getting the proper focus that it actually deserves.
That's right. And it's really hard to control that because the profit of an outsourced firm comes from managing and taking on multiple projects simultaneously. So it's fair game to them, but at the same time, you need to make sure that you're protected. And the best way to guarantee that you control and manage this to the best you can is to have established milestone and timelines in terms of deliverable expectations and also the objectives for the particular timeline. And when you have milestones established, it's usually easier to measure the outcome and the results. And his provide a higher chance to maintain high quality.
And the third disadvantage is you won't be developing those skills internally. By outsourcing your development, that means that you won't be creating a culture of developers internally and build your own talent.
That's right. You won't be able to developing that internal technical practice as strong as if you were to build everything on your own. If cost optimization and mitigate risk is your primary concern, then outsourcing makes sense. But if your goal is to develop a solid foundational technical team since the beginning, so that it can be dedicated to your core product, then I would strongly advise to consider building your internal technical team from the get-go. When you realize there's a particular part of workload that is not part of your core business functions, like for example, say DevOps, that is not related directly to your business operations, then maybe consider outsourcing that piece of work to an external party that has much more expertise and experience.
So there you have it. Those are 3 disadvantages of outsourcing your development. Have you had a bad experience outsourcing before? Or do you have any concerns about outsourcing your development? If so, let us know in the comments down below. We are more than happy to answer your questions. Again, don't forget to like the video and follow us for more great content.